Hello and welcome to Wisdom and Productivity, the podcast of Dr. Efraim Martinez. I am a principal in search of wisdom, and I have found productivity to be a great tool for success. Today's episode's title is Thriving Schools, the Power of Putting Teachers First. This is a story about how emotional intelligence, Stoic philosophy, and Abraham Lincoln's leadership style can transform your school. Principal Martin was a school leader who was struggling. His school was underperforming and his teachers were feeling demoralized. He felt frustrated and overwhelmed. One day, Principal Martin decided that he needed to make a change. He started reading books about emotional intelligence, Stoic philosophy, and Lincoln's leadership style. He was inspired by the principles that he learned, and he decided to apply them to his own school. Number one, emotional intelligence, building strong relationships. One of the most important things that Principal Martin learned about emotional intelligence, or EQ, was the importance of empathy. He realized that he needed to be able to understand and share the feelings of his teachers and students in order to build strong relationships with them. He started by listening to his teachers and students more carefully. He asked them questions about their day to day experiences and their hopes and dreams for the future. He also paid attention to their body language and facial expressions so that he could get a better understanding on how they were feeling. For example, one day, Principal Martin noticed that one of his teachers, Miss Ramon, seemed withdrawn and uninterested in her work. He took her aside and asked her how she was doing. Miss Ramon told him that she was feeling stressed because she was having trouble managing her workload. Principal Martin listened to Miss Ramon's concerns and offered her support. He also helped her to develop a plan to manage her workload more effectively. Over time, Principal Martin's relationships with his teachers and students improved dramatically. He created a more positive and supportive school culture. Teachers felt more valued and respected, and students felt more engaged and motivated. Before we continue, let's take a moment to praise the Teach Better community.
This podcast is a proud member of the Teach Better Podcast Network. Better today, better tomorrow, and the podcast to get you there. Explore more podcasts at www.teachbetterpodcastnetwork.com. Now let's get back to the episode.
Number two, Stoic Philosophy. Focus only on what you can control. Another important lesson that Principal Martin learned was the importance of Stoic philosophy. Stoicism is a philosophy that teaches people to focus on the things that they can control and to accept the things that they cannot control. It also teaches people to let go of negative emotions and to focus on the present moment. Principal Martin realized that he could not control everything that was happening at his school. However, he could control his own attitude and behavior. He decided to focus on the things that he could control, such as his own work ethic, his approach to problem solving, his relationship with others, and on his excellence. For example, one day, Principal Martin's school was inspected by the state. The inspectors found several areas where the school needed to improve. Principal Martin could have easily gotten discouraged, but he chose to focus on the positive. He saw the inspection as an opportunity to identify areas where the school could improve. He also saw it as an opportunity to demonstrate his leadership to his staff. Principal Martin met with his staff to discuss the results of the inspection. He worked with them to develop a plan to address the areas where the school needed to improve. He also praised his staff for their hard work and dedication. Principal Martin's positive attitude and focus on problem solving helped his staff to stay motivated through the inspection process. The school was able to address all of the areas of concern, and it received a positive rating from the state. Number 3, Lincoln's leadership style: compassion, humility, and consensus building. Principal Martin also admired Lincoln's leadership style. Lincoln was a leader who was known for his compassion, his humility, and his ability to build consensus. Principal Martin decided to model his own leadership style after Lincoln's. He started by being more compassionate towards his teachers and students. He also became more humble and willing to admit when he was wrong. He also made an effort to build consensus among his staff before making major decisions. For example, Principal Martin wanted to implement a new school-wide discipline policy. He knew that the policy would be controversial, so he decided to involve his staff in the decision-making process. He met with his teachers to discuss their concerns and suggestions. He also created a committee of teachers to help him develop the new policy. As a result, Principal Martin's effort to build consensus, the new school-wide discipline policy was well received by all. The policy was effective in reducing discipline problems, and it helped to create a more positive and supportive school culture. And number 4, focusing on teachers, the key to success. After a few years of applying the lessons of emotional intelligence, Stoic philosophy, and Lincoln's leadership style, Principal Martin realized that the best way to improve his school was to focus on helping his teachers be the best versions of themselves. He started by providing them with more professional development opportunities. He also created a more supportive school culture where teachers felt valued and respected. One of the things that Principal Martin did was to start a Teacher of the Month program. The program recognized and rewarded teachers for their hard work and dedication. It also helped to boost morale and create a sense of community among the staff. Principal Martin also made an effort to get to know his teachers on a personal level. He will often visit their classrooms to observe them teaching or just to have a chat. He will also meet with them individually to discuss their goals and challenges. Principal Martin's focus on helping leaders uh, and teachers in the school to be the best versions of themselves paid off. His teachers became more engaged and motivated. They were also more effective in the classroom. As a result, student achievement improved significantly. The school's test scores went up, and the school also developed a reputation for being a great place to work for teachers. Principal Martin's story is an inspiration to all school leaders. It shows that it is possible to transform a school by focusing on helping teachers be the best versions of themselves. Please let me know, what do you do in your school? How do you support teachers to be the best versions of themselves? What strategies do you implement? All in all, remember that when you do good things happen.
Thank you for listening to Wisdom and Productivity, the podcast of Dr. Efrain Martinez.
Chulo.
And as of that production, chill out.